Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. Today's another one of my Sunday dinners. My daughters were somewhere predisposed, so it was just me and the wife. And, well, I had this plan in my head that I wasn't going to go too far out today during the holiday weekend. So I just said, hey, let me make some steak and eggs. Why not? I haven't done that before at home. You know, didn't particularly order it all the time when I'm out, but I said, well, let me do it something real simple. And, let me see if I could jazz it up just a little bit. So I bought some ribeye steaks and I got me some eggs. And I said, well, I'm trying to jazz these eggs up. I got some garlic bread and I even jazzed those up. So I'm going to go through some slides and just say, hey, listen, this is what I did. But first, listen, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. It's political season, so I have a lot of political stuff. So I know we all don't agree on who should be president and who shouldn't be, but I have my own little take on it. You should have your own take on it, and we should be able to discuss it one of these days. But today is about the food. I have some other things on my channel. Got a lot of videos. I'm getting a few subscribers. One of these days, I'm going to actually do what it takes to get monetized. But, that's besides the point. Me as a retired guy, I'm just having at least a good time to put my stream of consciousness out there for you guys to listen to. Because, hey, you know what? Even the little guy or the old guy or just a regular citizen or the dude next door, they all have something to say. And it's up to you to put it up on the pedestal or not. Or if you get a nugget or two that you could use in your life, why not? For me, one of the things is that if you have a family and they live together, you guys live in a house, your children, your mom, your wife, even if you have your parents with you or whatever it is, you should at least have a day or two where you all sit down and have dinner. That's what I think. You have conversations, you break bread together, and reconnects the bonds and stuff like that. Maybe if there's things that need to be aired out, you can air it out, keep it civil over a good meal. Why not? You know what I'm saying? So in my household, I make it a plan to sit down with the family and we discuss things and we break bread and we have conversations. We have laughs and all that kind of stuff. It gets heated once in a while, but it never gets too hot. My kids are grown now, so it's even more important to see where they're coming from and how their lives are going. And no better way to get them to sit down for an hour or two and with me and the wife, and we discuss things one way or the other. It's no longer dictates. When they're grown, you don't dictate anymore, but you can at least inform and give some wisdom, and they take it or leave it as it sees fit to their own lives. But at least you can plant seeds. So anyway, so here goes. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna stop sharing this. I'm gonna show you what I did. This just stills. Like I say to people, I'm not like Diddy. I don't have to be in the video. All right, so let's go ahead and see. Yeah, you see it. Okay. All right, so I had this in my mind how I was going to jazz up the meal. There's this thing called cowboy butter. And it's they take a stick of butter and a whole bunch of seasonings and herbs and stuff like that, and they mix it all together and they call it cowboy butter. Now, it was primarily something you could dip your steak in, but I said, let me go ahead and make it. Actually, I used 2 sticks of butter, not one, and I cut up a lot of this stuff here. I didn't cut up all of this parsley and green onions and chives, and we had all kinds of different ingredients: cayenne pepper, smoked paprika, chili flakes. I used some fresh garlic, so I didn't use what's in front of you. Dijon mustard, and a couple of things, and orange. Some people like to put lemon in it. I think lemon is too strong, so I use a fresh orange, and I squeeze the orange juice in there. And I'll talk to you about that. You'll just see. We had steak, right? So I bought some ribeyes, and this is me seasoning up the ribeyes for the marinade. I marinated for hours or whatever. Then here's me going back to the cowboy butter, right? So you can see it, it's all meshed up. Eventually I put all of this ingredients in there and and just whipped it up. And I'll tell you what I did with this on the next slide. So you take it and you put some, I guess, whatever that wrapping cellophane or whatever in there, and you put it back in the refrigerator for it to harden up. So it actually turns back into like a pseudo stick of butter with all these seasonings and flavors and all that kind of stuff in it. And actually it tastes quite good, by the way. It really does. It's really seasoned up nice. I have some prosciutto. This is with preparation for what I wanted to do for the eggs. So I cut some of this up into small chunks. I didn't have a lot of it, so I just wanted to have a little flavor of that in there. And then I cut up some onions and some some peppers, red peppers, orange peppers, which has a little bit of different taste than green peppers, right? So I like that. There's the steaks on the in the smoker. This is the bread. So the bread comes with some garlic parmesan spread on it. But what I did was say, you know what, let me take some of this cowboy butter and spread on there as well. And that was a great idea. So I added even some more flavor to the garlic bread. Then I put some more parmesan on the top. And here's the eggs. I used a full dozen eggs. Oh, hey, listen, the eggs, I know how expensive eggs are, but I got Whole Foods had on sale. This cost me $6. You know, so that's high, but there's been higher prices. So that they'll say $6, let me get a dozen. And so I put a dozen eggs in there. And I whipped it up. I took the steaks out of the smoker and put them on the grill so they could brown them on each side. They still came out medium rare, and you'll see that later on. And I put the eggs in here. This is a deep pan and stuff, a little olive oil, and I put the cowboy butter in there as well. A nice little chunk of that in there. So all that stuff you see in the eggs is all part of what came out of the ingredients, and the cowboy butter gave the eggs such a nice flavor. There's the bread, and all of these things I put. I timed it just right because the steaks didn't need to be on the thing for more than 15 to 20 minutes, turning it over every 5 minutes or less. Then the eggs took almost 20 minutes to cook. Since it was on a low flame, I didn't overcook them too fast, so I just kept whipping them up. And the bread took around 20 minutes, like they said, 15 to 20 minutes. They said 12 to 15, but I had the stove at 400 degrees. And so it took around 20 minutes for these to brown real nice and crisp up. So that was nice. So everything I had it set up so it could all come out at the same time. So here's a picture of everything's just lined up on the table. You know, so it's not much. You got your eggs in a bowl, your bread, and your steak. And believe me and my wife didn't put a dent in this stuff. Like we really did. And then here is my horrible plating. One of these days I'll get it all professional. I could have, did some more stuff. But I cut the steak open. You can see that it's, a medium. You can still see a little pink, which is like the way I like it. And believe it or not, I couldn't even finish all the steak and or the eggs, to tell you the truth. And so this was, after doing all the cooking and all that kind of stuff. So this is the finished product. It was really delicious. Didn't have to add anything to it. I didn't even melt any more cowboy butter to put on the steak. Once the steak is done, if it has good enough flavor, I generally don't put anything on it. And so that's it. So me and the wife chowed down. She loved me again. Oh, how much she loved it and all that kind of good stuff. Like So right now, the boy is still batting 1,000. I am still batting 1,000. So this was my Sunday dinner with the wife. The girls, they had to settle for leftovers, and so do I. Of course. Sometimes good food even tastes better the next day. After you warm it up, heat it up, set it up, you eat as much as you want. And so we have some leftovers for the rest of the week because we definitely didn't put any dent in what I prepared. So so that's what that is. So it's just really good to be able to, let me stop sharing, to eat, sit down at the table, eat with the family, do that kind of stuff. Prepare for the fact that the summer is almost over. You're going to settle in. Now we got a whole different set of expenses coming up. Heating bills in the Northeast, and people going back to work, and the election coming up, which is going to be very interesting. So anyway, remember, do all the stuff you have to do all the things you have to take care of, do all the things that kind of plague you in life, even if you're having a great life. Don't forget that dinner with the loved ones, right? Don't forget to do that every so often. Gather your family together, sit down, fill a table with food, and enjoy and have a conversation with each other. That's a good thing. So anyway, this is another one of my examples on Sunday, and it went pretty well. Our pain, marriage, politics, and sports. Don't forget to subscribe. Over and out.